Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. In the name of Almighty Allah, the entirely merciful and specially merciful. Dear viewers across the planet, I greet you with the greeting of peace, hoping that inshallah we will have one day peace spreading and dominating the entire world. Ameen, Ameen. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. May peace be with you. Ameen. Dear viewers, welcome to this program under the title of Treasures from the Holy Quran. Perhaps you already got used to it. You are here to get treasures. You are not going to pay anything. You are going to listen, learn, understand as much as you can. Then, if you can start sharing it with the people around you. Community, whether it is a small community, your family, or a big community, your neighborhood, or the entire world if you can. And the more you share, the more you gain, as it is known. And this is really something very beneficial for me, for you, for everyone who wants to get more gains. So if you are as greedy as me, do your job and start learning it properly and sharing it. Start sharing it with everybody that you know or even you don't know. Today I am going to cover few ayat. It's one theme, one topic, which is a very essential theme in this Quran and in the life of any human. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us the answer of a question that many of humans, I would say the majority of humans, cannot answer it. Why? Because they are not into the Quran. They are not dealing with the Quran as much as they should do, or they are away from the focus on the Quran. So here the question is that give yourself a minute or two or three, try to think of this question. What is the goal in this life? Why are you here? Why am I here? Why have we been created? Is there a wisdom behind this? Of course there is. The one who created us is the wisest, is the most wise, and is the most knowledgeable. And the one who created us has a purpose for us. So what is this purpose? Why are we here? What are we doing in this world? And a lot of people become so frustrated when they don't know the answer. Or they have superficial answer. Or they have an alternative answer other than the real answer that we should say. Therefore, they feel frustrated, and whenever they confront a calamity or a situation that's a bit difficult for them to solve, because they don't understand why do they exist on this planet. And if we don't know, it would be fruitless to do that. So let's try to see the answer. If you don't find the answer here, spending few minutes in front of the screen, you will be able to get the answer. Yes. For example, the answer here is in chapter number 51. Chapter 51. And we'll begin with a verse 56. Perhaps we'll cover three ayat, three verses. Don't panic, they are very short. But the focus is on the first one. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم وما خلقت الجن والإنس إلا ليعبدون ما أريد منهم من رزق وما أريد أن يطعمون إن الله هو الرزاق ذو القوة المتين. Roughly this can be translated as, and I, Allah, I created not the jinn and mankind except that they should worship me alone. I seek not any provision from them, provision only for themselves or for my creatures, nor do I ask that they should feed me, feed themselves, or feed the creatures. Verily, Allah is the all-provider, is the owner of power, and the most strong. These are few hints that gives us the guidelines to understand these ayat. Back again to the first one, وَمَا خَلَقْتُ الْجِنَّ وَالْإِنسَ إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُونَ. That the main purpose that are created, not only humans, but also the jinn. I created the two of them and I created others, but this is for them because they are responsible. They have freedom of choice. That's why their task on this earth, their task in this world is just to worship me alone. Not to worship anyone else. Not to give me any provision. Not to look for this. The main purpose number one, is to worship Allah alone. You can ask yourself, how many people around you know this answer? Perhaps the minority. One day it will be the majority, by the way. But until now, we can say that not all humans know the purpose of their existence here. We had been created, and the one who created us told us the purpose. So we'd know exactly, and we would have more focus and more zooming on the focal point, which is worshiping Allah alone. In other words, you can say that the main purpose is applying the oneness of Allah, Tawheed Allah, not shirk, worshipping Allah alone and not worshipping anyone else. This is a very important point that raises many other points. One of them is that, do I worship Allah or I worship someone else? If the answer is no, I don't worship Allah, rather I focus on another one, I worship someone else or someone with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, so that means that I am not fulfilling my purpose. And it is the time to correct my wrong beliefs that I inherited, or that I learned, or that I read, or that I gained. This is not correct. The right purpose for the existence here, when you have the right purpose, you will start looking to see things around you so differently from the way that you are currently doing. When you know that you are here to worship Him alone, so this is only one purpose and one goal, that it becomes easier for you to have more focus, because it's not branching things. So if you worship Allah alone, one, and worshiping one, not one else, not one plus something, not one with a brother, not one with a son, not one with a wife, not one, it's only one. It becomes very easy, and that's why in all languages and all babies, not just children, all the babies in the world can say one. Just after a few months, they understand one. They understand the concept behind one. It's easier to understand the concept behind two, the concept behind three, the concept behind four, the concept behind multiple gods. It's very difficult. It's very easy. The easiest level is one. Therefore, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told us, this is your main goal and your main purpose in this world, in this life. Try to focus all your effort towards this. How to worship Allah alone and kick out all forms of shirk, all forms of worshipping someone else. Perhaps you are not aware, therefore, that don't even think of worshipping a messenger of God. These messengers are humans to carry the message for us. They are not to be worshipped. So don't say that I worship Allah and I worship His messenger. No. Worshipping Allah alone, not even with Allah, the messenger that He sent. Because, as you know that, the messengers are humans. So your purpose is to focus only on one. Is it difficult? Is it difficult? Everybody is saying no. It is not difficult. It is much easier than any other thing that you can think of. That's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made it very easy, because this whole universe is based on the concept of the oneness. Oneness of the Lord, the oneness of God. Therefore, it's very easy to say there is no God except Allah. There's only one, and whose name is Allah, and this should be known to everybody. You can do a good job when you share this with others. Then in the coming verses, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala makes it more easier to understand by saying, مَا أُرِيدُ مِنْهُمْ. From all the humans and from all the jinn that Allah created, Allah needs nothing from them except worshipping me. And He does not need any kind of provision. Neither you don't think of providing anything to Allah. You don't need. You just worship Him. In other words, you just obey Him. You just follow the laws and the rules that He asked you to do. And this would be very pleasing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. ما أريد منهم من رزق وما أريد أن يطعمون. I don't want them to feed me. In other words, they are not going to do any effort in that. He is not waiting for any materialistic things from you. Allah does not need anything from me and from you and from all those creatures. Currently, there are 7.7 humans, let alone the other, let alone if you count the number of jinn around you. If you can. Nobody can. But to make it very simple, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did not create us for this purpose. Rather, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created us only for one job to do, is to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Follow and worship here is a wide concept. That means that includes everything that pleases Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and keep ourselves away from things that do not please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Only, you are focusing only on one. Don't focus on others. And the ayat continue to say, indeed, you have all the time to remember that Allah is the provider. Allah is the sustainer of all this universe. So He is the sustainer and the provider, and He is the one who gives the provision to every human, all of them. He is the one who is taking care of that. It's not your job. Some people may think superficially and would say that in fact I get my salary, I get my provision from my boss, or from my director, or from my king, or from my president, or from somebody else. No. All these are tools. But the one who gives the sustenance is Almighty Allah, is the Creator. Inna Allah, that's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is emphasizing this meaning, not only in this verse, but also in many verses in the Quran, to establish this, to put this meaning, beautiful concept in our minds, so that we would behave accordingly. Inna Allah huwa al-Razzaq. Indeed, Allah is all provider, and He is the owner of power. All the powers that you see around you, the power of the sun, the power of the moon, the power of the seas, the power of everything around you, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the owner of this power. Allah is the owner of the sun. Allah is the owner of the seas. Allah is the owner of the galaxies. He is the owner of everything. You're not going to pay anything. It would not cost you anything at your own. Many people are having this kind of fear and worry about the future. What would happen if I lose my job? What would happen if I make an accident? What would happen if the source of the income changes or become less? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guarantees that He is the sustainer of everyone in this universe. No matter what happens around you, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will cover that. Look at the situation. The number of the population in some countries is rising higher and higher and higher. Imagine yourself living in China or in, for example, other countries that are overpopulated. They say overpopulated. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one who knows exactly how many people are living everywhere and how many people are born every minute and every second, and what is the birth, and what is the birth rate, and what is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And He calculates all that, and He guarantees that there is sustenance for all of them. وَمَا مِن دَابَّةٍ إِلَّا عَلَى اللَّهِ رِزْقُهَا. Not only humans and not only jinn, but also all creatures, animals, insects, birds, and all types of things that we hear of, monsters, and everyone. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is responsible for taking care of them with no exception. Knowing this, knowing that, we understand what is part of what's happening around us. Now it becomes very easy, and you start smiling that your rizq, sustenance, that provision for you is guaranteed. You just need to work. You have to work. You have to do your job. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will guarantee that there is sustenance for you, inshallah. Anywhere, anytime, all the time, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one who is going to take care of you. We do thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for having this clarification that guides our hearts to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala alone. وآخر دعوانا أن الحمد لله رب العالمين والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.